The Cowboy Junkies are on tour promoting their latest release, first release on RCA Records, called the Trinity Sessions. With me is Margo Timmins from the Cowboy Junkies. Hi, Margo.
Hi.
Welcome to Cleveland and Peabody's Down Under.
Thank you.
Now, I understand this album, Trinity Sessions, was actually recorded in the Trinity Church, live in one take with one microphone. Could you tell me a little
not
about
one take. Well, how we do it is we have a producer who owns a microphone it's a Calric Ambiosonic microphone, and he sets that up in the middle of the room or in some strategic spot, and we sort of sit around this microphone and play our music, and there's no mixing, no overdubbing, no editing of any sort. So we'll do usually about 3 takes of one song and then choose the best of the lot. And the only sort of mixing that we can do is by either moving closer or further away from this microphone, or by playing or singing louder. So it's all really up to the musician, pretty much. But the getting the balances and deciding where we sit is up to Peter Moore, who's our producer, and that's a big part of this.
And of course, the feeling of the church kind of brought you all together.
Yeah, it wasn't really planned that way. You know, we used the church because of its acoustics, but once we were there and once we started to record, especially at night, you know, the silence of the church and the peacefulness of it and just the feel, you know, really I think added a lot to our music.
Of course, when you say we and our music, you're referring to family.
Some of them are family, yeah, a lot of them.
Could you tell us a little bit about the band?
Well, the band started in November '85 was our first live performance. And in the band are my 2 brothers, Mike and Pete. And Pete plays drums, Mike's guitar. And on bass is Alan Anton, who's went to a nursery school with Mike. So I've known him since he was a little guy. And really, Michael and Alan have been playing in bands for a number of years. And they came back to Toronto and started to jam, and we all sort of were fooling around, really. I guess that's how most bands start, just in the garage.
And you have another brother, John?
John, yeah. John was around when Cowboy Junkies first started, and then he went off to have a baby and do other things. But we asked him to record on the Trinity session, and he does backup vocals to Misguided Angels.
And then you've brought in all these wonderful musicians that play all these country-type instruments.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
These guys are great musicians. They've been, Canada has a really great folk circuit, and these guys have been touring around on this folk circuit forever, and so it's great to have them. They're just really good musicians, and it's so much fun for us to be able to write songs or think of songs or sing songs, you know, with an accordion. It just adds another dimension, so it's really good.
What music are you listening to now? I know you've covered Hank Williams. You like Lou Reed, obviously. What are you listening to now?
Well, I still listen to a lot of country. It's something new to me. Really, we just discovered country in the last 2 years, so it's such a huge field of music that, you know, you keep finding new and more records. So that's really important to me. But I also, you know, Dylan is really important. Springsteen, I'm a huge Springsteen fan since I was a little girl, you know. And I like Randy Newman. I love Leonard Cohen's latest album, and Randy Newman's latest album as well.
Is it true that at first you were a little, well, you really didn't want to join the band?
Oh, yeah. It's not that I didn't want to join the band. I wanted to join because I wanted to play with my brothers. But Michael and I are close in age, and we've been friends for a long time, and I didn't want to do anything that would hurt his music because I knew how important it was to him, and I didn't consider myself a singer. So I was a little bit hesitant, because once you involve family in something, it's hard to sort of, if it's not working out, how do you say get out? And so I was hesitant about it.
Well, now that you've been talked into singing for the band, do you consider yourself a singer?
I do now. It took about a year of touring, and we'd already put out our first album. It'd been reviewed in Spin and Musician, and I still didn't consider myself a singer. But I think what happened was, on the tour, we did a 4-month tour of the States, and I began to sort of get control over my voice, and I started to be able to use it, and it began to make more sense to me what I was doing. And that's when I thought, okay, maybe I am a singer. You know, when you're a singer or an actress or a model or those things, it's easy to say, oh yes, I'm a model. I'm waitressing right now, but I'm a model. You know, those are easy titles. So I don't like to label myself something if I don't honestly believe that I am something. So it took me a while, and now that I do believe I'm a singer, and you know, there's a lot of things that I'm doing that I wouldn't have tried before. I didn't have the confidence. Now I'm a little bit more daring.
How does it feel to be up on stage for you?
That's not a very comfortable place for me. I like to sing, and I like different clubs and different people, because it is true that you really do get something out of the audience. So it's a real challenge. Every night's a different place. But our kind of music is not something that's put into bars every night. So we also can play a night where the crowd is not with us, and they want rock and roll, and, you know, speed it up, turn up, and I'm not an aggressive person, so I panic. I don't know what to do.
Just keep singing.
Yeah, well, I do. So sometimes it's uncomfortable, and also too, sometimes you sort of are standing up there and you realize, my God, you know, there's 200 people staring at me, and I try and push that out of my mind, because that scares me. That I like, once I'm singing, I don't know, there could be thousands, I wouldn't care. I don't know who's out there when I'm singing.
Well, the band sounds wonderful. You have a great voice.
Thank you.
And I wish you all the best.
Oh,
We're going to
thanks a
take a look
lot.
at your video,
Okay.
Sweet Jane, right now.
Great.